Welcome to World War II Chronicles, a weekly tribute to America's fighting men and women in commemoration of the Second World War. These programs are narrated by Ed Herlihy and are based on the news broadcasts of the war period from the recorded sound collection of the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
The Japanese have uncorked another drive into India, the second within 48 hours.
The Japanese offensive on the Burma-Indian frontier had reached Kohima and Imphal on April 6th. A hasty assemblage of 3,000 British Imperial troops held out against a Japanese force 6 times as large.
On the India front, British and Indian troops have driven the Japs from a hill position northwest of Imphal in bitter hand-to-hand fighting. Today's communique from Allied headquarters makes it clear that the Japanese have now virtually surrounded the city.
The situation on the Burma-India frontier appears to be improving. The Japanese continue their jungle infiltrations, but they have been sharply repulsed in their endeavors to penetrate the Imphal plain, and since they have not been able to capture either Imphal or Kohima, their supply situation must be considered as deteriorating.
Their supply lines constantly harassed, the Japanese were finally forced to retreat. The battle would prove to be the decisive engagement in Southeast Asia.
The Battle of Burma has reached a test of strength between the Japs and the Allies. On the Arakan front in the south, the British push forward.
In their march on Delhi, the Japanese counted on support in India, especially because of the British jailing of the charismatic leader of the Indian nationalists, Mohandas Gandhi. Having broken the Japanese grip on Burma, the threat to India no longer existed. Gandhi was released in May 1944.
The British government in India is releasing Mahatma Gandhi from prison unconditionally tomorrow morning. His failing health is the reason given, and probably an impelling reason, considering how unfortunate it might be if a life so revered by many Indians should end in jail. However, no matter how unfortunate, it would probably have had to be accepted if the Japanese invasion of India were still a threat. That the British will let him go free now, even if his life is near its end, is the final proof of the complete failure of that Japanese attempt to invade India and to rouse the Indian population to rebellion against Britain.
I'm Ed Herlihy. Join me next time for World War II Chronicles.
World War II Chronicles was produced by the American Veterans Center and Radio America in cooperation with the National Archives. To listen to more episodes, subscribe on iTunes or visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org. We need your help to keep the legacy of our World War II generation alive. Visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to make a donation to support World War II Chronicles and the ongoing work of the American Veterans Center.